Okay, mate. So let's just look into this a little bit. Now, first, I will just point out that back in 2017, Bitcoin was moving strong to the upside when this is the two spikes in XRP, but it's one of the older coins, and it just shows what actually happened back then. We had these two spikes in Bitcoin, like you can see down here. This was the 27th of March when we started, but and then again in the 1st of May. Um, so you can see here, what did I say, 27th of March, but you can see it was in this correction that that the BTC pair started. Okay, so Bitcoin corrected, and then they started to pump. That was the start of the pump. But of course, then it was the second pump was exactly when Bitcoin was topping out. It was right up here, right up at the highs. I've just got this chart here. I don't want to delete all that stuff, but like you can see here, this is the 11th of December. And then we started pumping really hard, and this up here is the 11th of December, right up here in that last week. Um, so in theory, Bitcoin should be strong, or at least coming out of a correction when these altcoins can pump hard. Now, if I just quickly look through, we can see that a lot of these BTC pairs. I mean, this is coiling up on an apex. Can it break up to the upside? It's coiling. It doesn't really look ready yet, but it's potential. Like if you remember how ADA bottomed, let's look at it. Like if you remember ADA, the way it bottomed here on the apex, you know, we had that move. We came back. We had this sort of move, and then we barred it back to the upside, and then that was all she wrote. Now we're doing the same thing here. Is this going to start barring back to the upside? And is that all she wrote? In polymath, it's very similar to ADA. It's almost identical, to be fair. Let's keep moving. That's just one example right there. I don't know what this is. ACM. I don't know what this is, but it's putting in that base and trying to be bullish. Can this part back to the upside? Time will tell, of course. JUV. These are newer altcoins. Here's another one, MTL. Now, a lot of the USD pairs bottomed like this, and then they ended up coming out of this and going into a bull market. So that's an interesting one. It's the older coins that I'm really looking at that are all into these sort of 3-day apexes. Here's another one here that is kind of earlier and maybe can develop into an apex and start breaking to the upside. MIT Well, this is kind of starting again. It's not great, but we could explode up to here. Um, that's a 300% move. It looks to be priming for that move. Here's another one, fun. It's kind of in that apex as well, trying to maybe break back to the upside. You know, the well, Theta fuel's already gone. What's this? Chills. Look at this bull flag on chills. Um, there's no denying that this could really start breaking to the upside. I'm just trying to flick through some of these very quickly. You can see here, what is this? MTH. It's in a bit of an apex and trying to develop for an up move. I don't know what for is. No idea. Look at this. Looks primed for a move. TOMO. Bloody hell. This looks fantastic. Look at this coiling up. This looks like it's about to explode, to the upside. I would say this is going to explode and probably and likely gonna break out of this, to maybe even test these highs. I just shared these in the group. Like honestly, Poly could really start exploding to the upside. Like if I zoom out on ADA, like this is that part down here, and you can see what happened on ADA. It's it's taken out the all-time highs. I'm not saying that Polymath is going to be as powerful as ADA, but you know, I really don't think it can do that. But I mean, 2,800%. But I'm just kind of showing the similarities. So I'll just go back here. We'll continue on here from TOMO. TMO looks fantastic. Here's another one, looks fantastic. What is this? Keeper KNC. It really looks like it's going to start breaking out to the upside and move. You know, the second time you break out of an apex, like here, you can get a real move and it can really go. So I definitely wouldn't mess with that either. Here's another one. What is this? BTG, some shitcoin, but it looks to have potentially setting up. Here's ICX. You know, this is it's got potential as well. We're trying to move up off this apex, consolidate. You know, a lot of if you remember and look through the BTC pairs after we done this, there was a bit of a dip and a chop back up, and then the real move. Algo, look at Algo. Algo is priming for a move in a 3-day apex here. This is absolutely priming to skyrocket. Honestly, it just looks really good. What is this? GLM? Never heard of it, but it's in an apex here. Can we start breaking to the upside? You know, it's a lot of these are kind of on an ice age. Elf kind of seen a bit of weakness here, but you can kind of see it's been in the space for 2 years. This looks fairly decent. A bit of a test pump here. Look at the test pump, a recent test pump. We start breaking up above this, it could really run. In a bit of an apex here, it's broke out, back test in the apex. A 3-day apex forming here on BCD, whatever that was. Yeah, look at this. I must have posted this back when we stop hunted here, and you can see what happened. We got that move. I probably haven't looked at this Bitcoin chart in a long time. Nice pullback. You know, this could be very well getting ready to run again. 3-day apex ONG. Look at this, is priming in the apex. You know, this is a test pump for potentially the real move above this. Test pumps, price loves to go above test pumps. Okay, so you know, and this is a 3-day apex. You do not mess, don't fight the apex, as I usually say. Look at this drop, DREP, DREP, bloody hell, not even looking at that. Okay, so 7 minutes into this video, here's another apex on QTUM. You know, this is a breakout of the apex, a pullback into the apex. This is very normal. Your first breakout is usually a pullback, and then you can chop about in here, a bit like ADA if you remember, and then you get that real pump. Like, remember ADA? So you break out of the apex. This is a very normal practice. You get the first pump, you drop back down. Let me clean that up a bit. Get the first pump up, drop back down, consolidate, and then you make the real move. Okay, that's normal practice. And these look to be setting up for a bull market. Look how many coins are in the apex, right? These are all kind of getting into the apex. This is forming a potential blueprint for success pattern here. We get back above here and consolidate. This could really go. These are 3-day charts, so they don't take that long to form. You know, another month and they'll be very well developed. Maybe not a month, but it could be in a month. Yeah, it could be. But you can see, you know, buying if you bought on this consolidation, for example. Look at the pump here you could have got into, and a lot of these coins are down here now, for potential to be buying early. Like OGN looks really good. This looks primed for a move. Another apex play. You can see it just developing here. GTO. Look at this. Well, I must have threw something of a bit of an apex here, but we didn't break out of an apex yet. That must have been a daily chart. But you can kind of see, what is this? YFIA? Bloody hell. That's insanity, really. I mean, this looks great for accumulation. You cannot deny that. Bloody hell. Like if you bought ADA here in a huge bull market, drop back down to nothing, and then look at the size of this base. It's almost like buying ADA somewhere in here, right? And if you can buy that somewhere in here, you know, it looks to be a great place to be accumulating. You know, so like, how can this market just go completely into a bear market when we've got all these apexes and and 2 year, many years. Well, that's 2019. Look at this. These bases are years long. That when you build a base for a couple of years, it's priming for a move back up. Here's another apex. Look at this. It's developing. It needs a bit of time, but this could be your test pump. You put a base on here, and it could start to break back up. You can see that this white 100 moving average is starting to come down, and this is pushing down the red 200. We just need to get back above these safely, and this can run. What is this? ADX. I don't even look at the name of these. Here's another apex developing here in an arc. So I'm going to cut this off. It's already 10 minutes in. My voice is taking a bit of a beating today. I made a few other videos earlier. My voice has been coming and going all day. So I'm going to cut this off here, but I hope this kind of just maybe helps explain it. This looks really good as well. What is this? Kava. Kava looks really good. I mean, this is pushing down here. We've got a red 200 starting to form here. If we can kind of break above these, it really could start making that ascent back up. So if you are trying to accumulate BTC, that's when you trade the BTC pairs. Now, from history, BTC is usually strong, and BTC pairs can get strong as well. So if we do in fact have another leg higher on BTC, the BTC pairs might actually get involved this time, as they did not get involved last time. And especially if Bitcoin actually tops out again, like here, like when BTC actually was topping out, that's when the BTC pairs really ran this time. Okay, so what we need to figure out, is this going to happen? If we see a breakup in some USD pairs, or sorry, in BTC pairs, if we can, like, if you actually look at it, a lot of these coins are kind of sitting here, right? A lot of them are kind of sitting here, or even somewhere down here, from the looks of the charts, right? I just looked through 50 charts there, and you can see that a lot of them are kind of here, or even here. So it's very interesting to see if they're going to run or not. So BTC does not have to start dropping. Often BTC drops first, and then the BTC pairs take effect, as I showed earlier. But yes, the USD pairs will also run.